Well, welcome to another online Bible lesson with me. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Pastor Danette, and I am so excited to keep talking about how Jesus' power pulls us through. Because today we're going to talk about something really cool. Jesus' power brings hope. And you know what can keep our eyes on hope? God's sightings. Well, last time I was with you, I asked you to keep your eye out for where God was working in the world and in your lives. Well, I did that too. And here's a quick God sighting that I'd like to share with you. You ready? Ta-da! A couple of weeks ago, we got some soil and some seeds and we started planting. And you know what? We plan on growing a garden. And so look at this. It started to grow. I had planted it down and I thought it's never going to come up. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and finally, here it is. I'm so excited. I'm going to plant it outside and grow a vegetable garden. Well, how about you guys? I think it's your turn to share. Go ahead and pause me for a minute and discuss with your family where you have seen God at work in your lives. Go ahead. I'll see you in a minute. Hey, thanks for sharing, everyone. You know, in some places in the world, there are a lot of angry and frustrated people right now. Maybe that's true where you live too. You know, some grown-ups, they're angry because they can't go to work and earn money to care for themselves and their family. And kids, they're frustrated because they'd like to go to the mall, or they want to hang out with their friends and have birthday parties and play sports again on their favorite team. And maybe if you've been cooped up with your family for a few weeks, maybe things can be a little tense at home too. Let's take a minute to talk about that. Here's a question for you to discuss with your family. What has made you angry, frustrated, or tense during this social distancing situation? Hey everybody, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you also for being so honest. You know, when you're stuck or disappointed, it's really easy to become frustrated or even angry. And that's okay because you feel what you feel. But it's what you do when you're frustrated or angry that can really turn things around. So I have this great idea. Everybody, why don't you get up on your feet? It's time to shake and shimmy some of those blues away as we join some friends who have figured out what to do when you're facing hard times. I've provided a link for you. Go ahead, pause me. Click that link and let's sing together. It's a song that's called No Matter What I'm Facing. Phew! God gives me joy in every situation and keeps my spirits high no matter what I'm facing. Well, that's what I want, but sometimes truly that's not how I feel, and I am not alone. Let me tell you about some friends of Jesus, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. You can find their true story in the Bible, in the book of John chapter 11. Let me tell you about the story. Lazarus got sick, and his sisters, Mary, Martha, knew that Jesus' power brings hope. So they hoped that Jesus could heal him. They sent a messenger to find Jesus in a nearby city, and then they took care of Lazarus as they waited for Jesus to arrive. But one day, Lazarus got weaker and weaker, and Jesus didn't come. Mary and Martha, they could not understand why. Jesus loved Lazarus, and they knew Jesus could help, but where was he? I think they felt that, wait, let me show you. Okay, when I count to 3, I want you all to take a deep breath, and then I want you to hold it, okay? Hold it while I tell you. Now I'm going to let you know when it's okay to breathe again. Are you ready? Let's count. Ready to hold your breath? 1, 2, 3. Hold your breath. Okay, now I think Mary and Martha were standing by the door, looking up the road, expecting that at any moment Jesus would appear and he'd make everything okay again. But you know what? Jesus didn't come. Oh, look at that. I think it's growing bigger. Oh my goodness, you know, I put that seed in there and it was so dark and, well, it just didn't grow very well, but all of a sudden it came up and, I am so sorry. Oops, everybody, why don't you take a big breath? I am so sorry. I got a little bit distracted and I forgot about you. You know, I think that's what Mary and Martha thought about Jesus too, that he didn't care, that he got busy and forgot them, or didn't even notice. Lazarus dying. So while Mary and Martha were waiting for Jesus to come and help, Lazarus died and he was buried. Oh, how angry Mary and Martha must have felt. How hurt they must have been that their friend didn't come and help them. You know what? Everybody, make a tight fist like this. Make it really tight. Squeeze your fist and hold on to it. Now, think about how angry you get when people are mean to you, or how angry you are when you feel stuck or forgotten or even ignored. Think about what you shared earlier when I asked you what made you angry. Dig your fingernails into your palm. Feel how tight and tense your arms are? It's starting to hurt, isn't it? Grr, but keep holding it. So back to Mary and Martha. Jesus finally showed up and they were angry with him. They asked why he had waited so long. But Jesus didn't disappoint. Jesus went to where Lazarus was buried, and some men rolled away the stone from in front of his tomb. Jesus called out to Lazarus, "Rise up from the dead." And that's what Lazarus did. That's power. That is hope. The Bible says that Jesus wasn't late. He waited on purpose because he wanted to do something even more amazing than just heal sick Lazarus. He wanted to raise somebody from the dead. You know, when Mary and Martha saw that Jesus' power brings hope, even when it seemed like it's too late, well, they let go of their anger and they found hope instead. So relax your fists, let your hand open slowly. That's how it feels when you let go of your anger. When you look for the joy and hope in every situation, when you let God lift your spirits, no matter what you're facing. Maybe you know someone who's sick. Maybe they've gotten better and, well, maybe they haven't. Maybe you've prayed that you could get back to living like we were living before this whole virus situation. And maybe you're angry because, well, you had a baseball tournament or a basketball tournament or a birthday party and it was all canceled because of this virus. And you're wondering, where is Jesus? Where could he be? I've been calling on him. Maybe you're a little angry because it feels like he's just too late to help you. Remember this, Jesus was not late for Lazarus, and he's not late in answering your prayers. Jesus had a better plan when his friend Lazarus was sick. Jesus was in charge, and he is still in charge. He has a plan because Jesus' power brings hope. Now, Mary and Martha got angry, but Jesus didn't walk away from them because of their anger. Instead, he drew close to them and he gave them hope. And you know what? He'll give you hope too. And along with that hope, he'll give you peace, even in these strange times. Now let me take a minute here and pause me, because I'd like you guys maybe to discuss a couple of questions with your families. Now, how did holding your fist remind you how it feels to hold on to anger? And how can you as a family experience the letting go of anger and finding the hope that Jesus offers? Take a minute and discuss that together. Hey everyone, thanks for sharing your thoughts. I think we should just take a few minutes to see what happens when we focus on Jesus' hope. I'm going to put a picture up and I'm going to talk you through how to see hope when we focus on Jesus. Okay, focus on this picture. Okay, do you see the picture? It doesn't look like much, does it? There's 4 dots in the middle and 4 letters in the word hope. So focus on the 4 dots in the middle until I take the image down. Really stare at those dots and try to blink as little as possible. Keep staring. Okay, now quick, look at a blank wall. What do you see? Keep looking at the wall. It might take a few seconds. Do you see him? Do you see Jesus? Great job, guys. When we took time to focus on the 4 dots, which remind us of the letters in the word hope, H-O-P-E, we could see Jesus. When we take the time to look for him, we'll see Jesus all around us. Now, take a minute to discuss with yourselves, how can we look for Jesus when we're angry? Well, Jesus' power brings hope. And when we focus on the hope that he can do something even greater than what it seems like he's late for, we're going to see him at work. Now, I have a request for you. Would you take a few minutes and each share what you're hoping for? What is it you hope will happen? Tell each other and then pray for each person. And you can pause me while you do that. I promise I'll be here waiting. Well, you guys have been keeping a thankful journal, and it's time to fill out another page. Well, maybe you're new to us and you're wondering what a thankful journal is. Well, if you have a journal at home filled with paper, or if you'd like to make your own, we just grabbed a stack of paper and we stapled it together and put thankful journal on the front. And we're using this to draw some pictures or write some things down to help us to remember to be thankful. And today I'm going to get you to draw things that you were hoping God would do for you that he has already done. So, for instance, some of you were looking around for toilet paper and hoping God would provide some, and guess what? He did. And maybe you'd hoped you'd had enough food during this time when you couldn't go out and buy more, and you guys were okay. You know, focusing on how God's hope has come through will remind you that Jesus' power brings hope. Well, I'm going to sign off now, but when the video ends, make sure to put your name and the date on a picture you've drawn today. And one more thing, we're going to say hello to our friend Avriana from Kids Church, who is going to give us today's scripture memory verse in Hebrews chapter 6, verse 19. Hope to see you online.
Hi, I'm Avriana and I'm 10 years old. Hebrews 6:19 says, "We have this hope as an anchor for the soul, firm and secure." I'm so glad that Jesus' power brings hope.